Welcome to the Herb Senior Show, broadcasting live out of the beautiful city of Memphis, Tennessee. The views and expressions that are expressed on the Herb Senior Show are not necessarily the views of Spreaker, YouTube, or any other network in Memphis. Hi, folks. I'm Herb Senior. Folks, here in Memphis, Tennessee, it has been unbearably and ungodly hot. Today we're going to talk about, I often listen to the Ben Fergerson show, and Ben here is, I guess he's debating with Mr. Tom Hartman. I think that's his name. And I ran across this video that he was talking to Ben. And Ben was trying to tell him that if we need to create more jobs, the economy would get better. But this guy named Mr. Hartman, sounds, for a man of his intelligence, just don't sound right. Listen to him. Check it out on the Herb Senior Show.
Ben Fergerson is on the line with us, conservative commentator, radio host, author of It's My America 2, a leading young conservative, shares his views on politics and other matters of importance. His website, benfergusonshow.com. Ben, welcome back.
Hey, man, good to be with you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, and I hope you're well, too. Don't count on the stimulus. It's not coming, is what you're writing. Do I have that right?
Well, the president said that if you gave him the stimulus package, he said, look, if we can use money, the government can create jobs.
Right.
And unfortunately, he promised unemployment wouldn't go above 8%. It's been well above 8%, and I don't think he's got the political capital right now to do it again. I don't think the average American trusts that the government can actually fix this problem, and he doesn't seem to be able to fix it himself. He's had more than 2 years with the House, the Senate that he had, and he had everything he needed to fix it. His ideas didn't work, and I think that's why you're seeing Mitt Romney ahead, who, honestly, a lot of conservatives aren't that excited about.
We went from losing 800,000 jobs a month to the last, I don't know how many months it's been about a year now, of every single month producing jobs. That's a pretty radical turnaround. How,
I look at it as how much money it costs for this little turnaround. And if you do a price per job, it's astronomical compared to what he spent.
Well, yeah, over the short term, but if somebody has a job for the next 20 years as opposed to not having a job for the next 20 years, or if the economy didn't fall into a total free fall, crashed out depression, you could make the same argument for any kind of government
spending. What this guy, we can hold the video for a second. See, what Ben is trying to tell this guy is that if the president would give people off government assistance, and it would create more jobs for us and get the economy going. You can't live off of food stamps. I'm saying this at Herb Senior. I'm the host of the Herb Senior Show. You can't live off of food stamp and government assistance and expect this country to prosper because, and then later on you can hear this guy talking about it's the poor people that's creating jobs. If you're poor, how can you create a job? It takes money to create business. This guy's crazy. Listen to him on the Herb Senior Show.
It is George Bush. His tax cuts cost $2.5 trillion. Should we say, okay, well, we could have...
Well, here's the difference. I think when you let Americans keep more of their own money that they earn, I don't refer that as costing the government anything.
Well, it did. We had to borrow that money to give that money to those billionaires and millionaires. And instead, we could have taken that money and we could have retrofit 144 million households with solar power and wind power.
But here's the problem. If we stop spending so much money through the government, then it wouldn't be as big of an issue. I mean, you can't always blame wealthy individuals for the problems in this country because it's the wealthy individuals that are keeping people hired and keeping the economy going.
That's nonsense, Ben, and you know
jobs.
it. I know that you're smart enough to know that that's nonsense.
What? What is Mr. Hartman talking about? That's nonsense. It's the wealthy folks that's keeping this business going. If you're poor, how can you create jobs? I live in the African American community, and I love my brothers and sisters. But they don't have the capital to create jobs. They don't have the capital to hire people. They don't have the money. And this guy is saying, what?
Okay, how many poor people are actually starting companies and hiring people? Just tell me that. How many poor people are actually stimulating the economy right now?
The vast majority of small businesses in this country are started by poor and middle-class people.
What? Did you guys hear what this guy is saying? The majority business is created by poor. Hold it. Pooro. If you're poor, you don't have no money. So how can you start a business without money? Duh.
People. Number one.
Well, I would be
number
one of
two.
those, but if you tax
Number
me
two.
more, I'm not
Every
gonna hire
business
more
in
people.
this country depends upon consumers to buy things. The people who are creating jobs are not your rich guys, your billionaires and millionaires who are deciding that they're going to build a factory in the United States and hiring
What is
somebody.
this guy
Those are
talking
not the
about?
people
You
creating
all check
jobs.
him out.
The people creating jobs are the consumers who are buying things.
Oh my
and that's
Jesus!
the working.
Stop it! Is this guy nuts? Maybe Ben need to educate this guy. Because he obviously is a Democrat. Ben is right. You can't. How in the world can poor people start business? How can you start a business when you are on food stamps? How can you start a business when you don't have... I start to say something, but I'm not going to say it. How can you start a business when you can't even pay your own light bill? Man.
People, and that, for that matter, that's people living on Social Security, that's people living on Medicaid, that's people living on welfare. They're the job creators.
Oh, shut up. Okay, did y'all just hear what this guy said? The people that's on welfare create jobs? Huh? You know, my eyesight is kind of bad. I can't believe my ears what this guy is saying. Ben, please, educate this guy, man. You heard it first on the Herb Senior Show, worldwide broadcast.
Create jobs, put money in those people's pockets, and they will buy things. This is Econ 101, Ben.
Here's where I disagree with you. Prime example is my hometown. Memphis, Tennessee has 11 to 12% unemployment.
Tell them, Ben,
and the
tell them.
mayors finally decided, one Republican, one Democrat, that their game plan was not working, and that was more government programs. So what they did was they gave tax incentives to bring companies like Electrolux, Mitsubishi. They also brought in one of the largest brewing companies into Memphis, Tennessee. They have now created more than 200,000 jobs, not because they tax people, not because they raise property taxes, not because they went after wealthy people. They created jobs by going to companies saying, we're going to give you a tax break to come and build here, and you can hire
Thank you,
people. Guess
Ben.
what?
Thank you.
Our unemployment number has gone down almost a point this year
Yes,
alone because
especially
those
here in
places
Memphis,
are
Tennessee.
working, and that's how you create jobs. You give
That's
people incentive
tragic,
to
Ben.
hire.
That's absolutely
What?
tragic.
What
What
is-
you're
Because
saying
people get
is
a
that
job?
you think that all around the United
No, sir,
States,
you are tragic.
that governments should be giving money to fat cats and to corporations to compete with other governments.
Again,
You're saying that
it's not
Memphis
giving
is
them money.
beating
It's
Seattle,
not
so
giving them money if
that's a
it's
good thing?
tax break.
It's a
This is
race to the bottom,
where
Ben,
you-
is what you're advocating.
No, I'm advocating for average Americans to have an opportunity.
And how
to get a
and
job.
how is Mitsubishi building a plant in the United States and taking?
See, he's not listening to Ben. Ben is talking about giving the African community an opportunity to get off of food stamps, to get a job, to get off of welfare, so you can take care of your kids and live life. You cannot live life on food stamps. You cannot live life on welfare. You can't do it. And that's the reason why this country is in the shape that it's in, because Democrats, Barack Obama, it's not giving the people an opportunity. Ben Fergerson is trying to tell the people, trying to tell this Mr. Hartman, this guy, that the African American can live the dream as well as everybody else. Get off their behinds, get off of food stamps, and go to work. It's just Herb Senior Show.
100% of that profit back to Japan, a good thing for America.
Let me explain it to you. It's not hard. This is very simple economics. For the over 40,000 people that are going to be hired, that are going to live in Shelby County in Memphis, Tennessee.
So you like us being an economic colony of Japan because of our trade policies?
Let me finish. There's not some big conspiracy theory here. It's real simple. Those 40,000 Americans that are working are staying here, and they're doing what you just said stimulates the economy. They're buying things with their money they get from their paycheck. So if Mitsubishi takes their cash back to another country, but they've got 40,000 Americans who are taking their paychecks, buying things in this country, then that's a good deal for the average American
Thank you, Mr. Ben
Fergerson.
So
thank you very much for explaining to this guy.
It's just fine with you that America is no longer owned by Americans.
Context and words basically talking about it.
Ben, this is I don't get any of this. You start out by saying that this
Did you
is.
hear what he said? He don't get it. He doesn't get any of this. You don't get any of this because you're brainwashed from the Democratic point of view. You know, I've been on food stamp before when I wasn't working. People, it's miserable. You can't buy deodorant with food stamps. You can't buy toothpaste and a toothbrush with food stamps, even though they do that, it's against the law. It's against the law to sell food stamps, but people do. Now see what the Democrats are doing? How are they helping the American people? How? Look, I've been there. If you need an air conditioner for your home or your business, then call the American Refrigeration Heating and Air Conditioning Company of Memphis, Tennessee. The telephone number is 901-743-7200. At speed to Mr. Larry Toda, Chris Smith, Alan Smith, or Michael Holloway. Michael Holloway. And he will direct you to how to install a very excellent carrier product air conditioner in your home or your business. Now, back to the Herbs in your show. I'm about to get a headache because this guy is really, man, I don't know. Check him out on the Herbs in your show.
That you're in favor of economic colonialism, and B, that you're in favor of towns competing against each other in a race to the bottom to destroy social services and public services and give that money to the companies. Those companies.
It's not giving them money. That's
Ben, I guarantee you, Electrolux is going to make whatever they're going to make wherever they're going to make it, regardless of the tax cuts, if there's demand for it.
That's true. But what Ben is trying to tell these people is that it is an opportunity for the African American, especially here in Memphis, Tennessee, which is my hometown. I'm in the same hometown as Mr. Ben Fergerson is. And believe me, the African American people need this opportunity to get off their behinds, quote, get off their do-nothing, quote, get off their rockers, quote, get off and get a mind and get an vision to get a paycheck coming in every week. Folks, it's not no fun waiting every 30 days for a food stamp to come on your food stamp card. What's it going to do between that time? What are you going to do? Go around and beg? You got food, but you don't have no products for your personal hygiene. Food stamps. You can't get a haircut with food stamps. Herb Sr., streaming out of Memphis, as Ben Fergerson speaks for the African Americans of Memphis, Tennessee.
Do you really think for a minute that Mitsubishi is not going to make cars as long as they can sell them?
Again, Electrolux was looking at three places. They were looking at Canada, they were looking at Mexico, and they were looking at my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. There was going to be 40,000 jobs created, and an extra 20,000 jobs created connected to the supply.
Electrolux is not even an American company.
I don't
any
care
longer.
if they're an American company. If they're in America and they're looking at where they're going to put the
Aren't you
plant,
worried about
Who
the fact...
cares if it's an American company or not? So what? Bring the money to Memphis and put the people to work and get them a freaking paycheck so they can live, man. What's wrong with this guy?
that our industrial infrastructure is being hollowed out, that the only jobs that are being created in this country, and I put created in quotes, are by foreign companies, that we're becoming basically an economic colony of Asia?
Again, I look at it as a fact that their average wage is going to be about $24 an hour for an American citizen.
This is the argument that we made when we had when we were literally running banana republics to bring bananas. Oh, we're giving them jobs. And the people in those countries eventually stood up and said, you may be giving us jobs, but we'd like to have sovereignty.
You have this philosophical argument that
this is not philosophical.
That foreign companies are going to come to this country and in some boogie
See,
win.
this other guy's talking out of the side of his neck, if I may say that. He's talking with a forked tongue, Mr. Hartman. See, I've been there. I've been without a job. See, this other guy is not understanding Ben Fergerson. You listen to a guy that been there. You're talking to a guy that had hard times in life. You're talking to a guy that I couldn't hardly find a job when the 2009, 2012 crisis was. I was out picking up cans, trying to make it, because I don't believe in stealing or robbing people. So I had to get up when the economy was down. You understand me? So this guy, obviously, I don't know his background. Maybe he had, maybe he was, I don't know, folks. But Ben Ferguson is trying to speak for the African American people on the Fergerson show.
Take over.
There's nothing boogeyman about taking your profits back to your home country.
I would love for them to have more of their profits stay in the United States of America. But one of the ways is that if I had the option of creating 20,000 jobs for hardworking Americans in this country instead of losing the entire functionality of that part of that.
Why not just change our trade policies, Ben?
For America's hardworking people.
Why not just change our trade policies so that the American companies that are manufacturing overseas can't do that profitably anymore, and they bring their factories back here rather than going to the Japanese and saying, please come to America and build a factory?
Here's what I would say. Good luck with that. But in the meantime, I'm going to do everything I can to get Americans back to work here.
Thank you, Mr. Ben. Yeah. Did you all hear what Ben says? That he's going to try to do everything in his power to get these people back to work, especially the African American people. Because I'm tired of, when I get off of work, I see people in Orange Mountain community, in which I live, begging. God, do you have $1? God, do you have 50 cents? God, you have 30 cents? I'm tired of that. I want to see the African American, especially the African American people, especially here in Memphis, Tennessee, especially to go up and listen to Mr. Ben Fergerson, because he's right. This is the Fergerson Show, broadcasting worldwide. You can email me at wlfcorg@gmail.com or call me at 901-679-2745. Worldwide broadcast.